and I forgot to pick him up. I was drinking and using cocaine, and I had made a plan with my husband, and then that changed, and I just simply forgot. I mean, how do you forget? How do you forget your kids? And that's what, alcohol and drugs did for me. So I was using cocaine about every, I don't know, every couple days. I was having to get high on it. And I just did it at night. I went out a lot because I didn't want to do it around the kids. It was kind of a, something that I felt uncomfortable with. But I had a lot of babysitters. My kids had a lot of babysitters in their life. So I felt like, already I wasn't taking care of them well. I wasn't doing a lot of it. I had trouble in the mornings getting them off to school, getting up and getting them off to school. And, my daughter tells a story about how she couldn't wake me up one morning, and she was really hungry, and she wasn't allowed to use a microwave or anything. And so she tried to warm up chicken nuggets on the furnace because she was hungry. Honestly, I never knew that happened. She tells me about it now. But, really, I was neglecting them, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even know I was neglecting them. Using, for me, just was something I had to do, and I felt like I just did the best I could. So, it was just, it was a tough time for us. My my husband at the time was gone a lot. He worked a lot, and he drank a lot. So he was gone a lot. And so they kind of had this splintered parenting from the two of us. And the more I felt badly about how I was living my life, the more I had to use something. And so the progression for me just increased to where, I was going out most nights now. And the babysitters I got were less desirable because, the other kids were home studying and doing things. So it's the things that they're supposed to be doing. So that was a real switch for me. That was not only was I starting to hang out with people who I wouldn't normally hang out with, but I was hiring people to watch my children that I normally wouldn't have hired. So it was probably about, my kids were like in 4th and 5th grade when I got my first DWI. I was a teacher's aide at the time, and worked in the school system. Just go to work. I had to be to work around 9, and I was always not feeling well. Always something wrong with me, and that was just a cover-up because I was always hungover or sick, or. But I felt like I was being a good mom because I was working in the same school as my kids, so they got to see me during the day too. And but I got my first DWI, and it was on a night. It was, I think, a Sunday night, and it was the night before school started. So here, my kids have a sitter the night before school starts. I'm out drinking, and I get a DWI. It's in the paper, it's on the news, it's everywhere. And this is a small town, and thinking back, what mom leaves their kids the night before the first day of school to go out drinking? And that was exactly where my addiction had taken me. So I got arrested, they handcuffed me, that was humiliating, it was difficult. I wish I could say it stopped me from drinking, but it didn't. And I went home, talked to my husband about it, and he said to me, well, everybody gets a DWI. So it was normalized for me in the household, so I didn't feel as bad. My parents heard it on the news before I could tell them. Not a good thing. They were not happy. They wanted me to get some help. I said I was fine. It was under control. Everything's okay. When really it wasn't. It was everything but okay. I continued to use alcohol and cocaine hand in hand. I didn't use one without the other. I tried many things. I stopped drinking and just used cocaine. I stopped cocaine and just drank. I tried everything except stopping. And that's probably about the time I was 30 years old, and I had tried crack cocaine for the first time. And just with some people. You know, they were using it. I tried it. And it got me immediately. Immediately it got me. This is a small town. You know, police know what's going on. I'm from a somewhat, you know, well-known family, business family in town, married to somebody who's well-known. And I am running around town smoking crack cocaine. So the marriage broke up at this point. I thought it was his fault. I thought I drank the way I drank because he drank the way he drank, and I had to, you know, live the lifestyle he was living. You know, so I started to blame others. I really minimized my use to people, and I left him thinking that that was going to cure me. And I moved back in with my parents, with 2 kids, and they were happy to have me for a period of time, and but I couldn't take care of myself. And I still couldn't. I still didn't know how to take care of myself, and I certainly didn't know how to take care of 2 children by myself. My parents owned some rental property in town, so they gave me one of their apartments. And I thought, well, this is good. I'm going to get better now. It's going to get better. It's going to go away. I just thought it was really going to go away, never realizing the depth of what I was in. So my kids and I lived there, and I thought I was going to get better, but what really happened was I got worse. I got extremely, extremely sick. I was, and I hate to say this, I was smoking crack daily in the house with the kids, not in front of them or anything, hiding it, you know, in the bathroom or the bedroom or something, late at night, staying up all night. It was really, I probably had used $100 a day, and you know, I had no money. You know, I had gotten a small settlement from a little car accident I had been in, and that's what I used. And instead of buying clothes and food and those kind of things for us, I smoked crack. And I started to disappear, really. I probably got down to about 90 pounds. My hair was falling out. My eyes were sunken. I looked like death. But the whole time not realizing it. Thought I looked good. You know, that's the lie that it tells you. And that was really when I just didn't know what I was going to do. And I thought, well, when I run out of money, then I'll stop. When I, you know, can't buy it anymore, that's when I'll stop. Well, I ran out of money, and it didn't stop me. I did whatever I had to do to still get high, hating myself the entire time and neglecting my kids in the process. They were probably 10 and 11 at this point, and fighting, and you know, I couldn't handle anything. They didn't know what was going on with me. They certainly didn't like it, but they didn't know how to verbalize it. So they started to fight between the 2 of them, and you know, they were good students, and you know, they started not wanting to go to school. It just really got really sick really quick after I left their father, and that's when, you know, I started to look for another solution. I knew I needed help when I just couldn't function. I hadn't gone to work in a week. I couldn't think. I couldn't eat. Nothing was, you know, nothing was going well for me at that time.